Aloha, this is Leimomi Keliikuli, psychic business mentor here, coming from the Big Island of Hawaii. Today, if you are just jumping on, please totally say hello. I will be really talking about a very fascinating subject. So, if you've never heard about this, I think you would really get a greater understanding the differences. So for today's Fame and Fortune show, actually, I'm going to be talking about who are your inner circle spirit guides, and why would you really want to connect with them, and what's the difference between your inner circle guides, your spirit guides, and your higher self, and your angels, and then the 3 reasons as to why you will quickly actually up level by and creating more fame and fortune just by knowing your inner circle spirit guides. So if you just jumped on, I see a lot of people just jumped on. Totally say hello, and we'll jump on in. I see Corinne jumped on and Dee just jumped on. So totally let me know that you're listening in. And at any time, totally ask me, questions. So what I basically do for this show is I will give you basically the material and the content that I'm talking about, and then we will jump into kind of like a Q&A thing. So at any time, if you have to go, that's totally fine, but really try to stick to the end, because that's when I'll answer some of your big questions, and we can talk about that on this live stream. So hi Dee, I see she says hello. So basically, let me introduce myself. I'm a psychic business mentor, and basically I help to up-level driven entrepreneurs who really want to make an impact. And I do that by going into their Akashic records to read their divine soul blueprints to help them to up-level with ease and clearing all the negative energetic noise that stops my clients from creating more fame and fortune. So that's just a snip of what I do. So let's jump into the material. So what are spirit guides, right? Like usually we kind of think like, oh, they're just like some peoples out there. But really your spirit guides are really those who have been with you since birth, okay? We actually have like outer circle spirit guides. We also have inner circle spirit guides. So outer circle spirit guides in general are usually like angels or bigger guides who actually are here to help multiple people, right? So if you ever heard of like Archangel Michael or Archangel like Uriel, or like these kind of like angels and stuff where they help multiple people, and they can be at any place at any time. Those are usually like your outer circle spirit guides. Now I want to talk about the inner circle spirit guides. So your inner circle spirit guides are actually spirit guides that came into your life probably from around the age of like 2 years old, and over the course until you're 21, they came into your life. And they were helping for very specific things. So think of like your inner circle spirit guides. They came in for that particular purpose to help you to live in this third dimensional world. So they actually know everything about you. So you don't have to like explain, like what how can they help you, whatever. They just like have seen it. They've been watching you. They're literally like your guardians helping you in this third dimensional reality. So really knowing them is so important. You actually don't really want to connect too much to your outer circle guides because they're busy. They're helping a lot of souls, right? But when you actually talk to your inner circle spirit guides, they actually give you a lot of the practicalities of what you need to know, right? Like in order to live in our physical world. Just need taking a sip. My water. So now I'm going to explain about, who's your higher self, right? Hi, Anne. I totally see you jumped in. So the higher self is think of it as it's like your soul, but like seeing above what you physically are doing now. Okay, so this is different from inner circle spirit guides. They're literally spirits that are helping you, and that's their mission, is to help you to create what you want in this, reality. But your higher self is like a person has like a telescope, like let's say, that's overlooking over a mountain to really see who you are, like, and what is like the next steps that will get you to that next direction, right? It's really your soul, basically. We have our physical body, our mental body, emotional body, spiritual body, and it really is your soul. But it can see at a very bigger sense than what probably you see right now, right? From your two eyes, but really from your intuition and your third eye. Hi, Anne. Totally at any time, give me likes and, hearts if this is really moving you, okay? So is that clear? Higher self, inner circle spirit guides, outer circle spirit guides. There's actually way more than this, but I'm just going to talk about these two types. Hi, Kate. And the reason you need to know, the difference, okay? So, like I said, like your inner circle spirit guides really know everything about you, okay? And that they're really like real people. Like think of them like real people. They have their own divine gifts. They have their own soul profile. They have their own unique way that they impulse you, how they help you to like deal with this third dimensional stuff, okay? So think of them as like your best friends that knows like everything about you and like totally can relate to you at every level of your being, okay? So that's why it's so important to know them, right? Like, and know how to connect with them. I'll probably talk about how to connect with them another time, but I just want to explain to you how is that related to helping you get more fame and fortune, okay? So like when you want to connect with your higher self and your soul, you have to understand why you should connect with them, right? For particular reasons. So like your higher self is like your fifth dimensional aspect, okay? So your fifth dimensional aspect is what you at soul level. That's really like your higher self. Like your higher self is like your divine gifts, and is exactly who you are and knows everything about you, right? That's your higher self. So your higher self is really an excellent source of information. If you want to know your purpose, your lessons, and that's associated with any of your life experiences, right? Because actually the soul itself has karmic stuff too, okay? Because it remembers everything. All the blocks and restrictions that you probably experience at soul level, your higher self has actually experienced. So the reason you don't really want to connect with them as much is because, your higher self as much, because it has actually all those memories of who you were not. The information could be a bit like, like your higher self can see what's going on, but like to really be super neutral as to like the bigger picture of what you want to be doing, your inner circle spirit guides really understands it without all that crazy mess, your karmic stuff that your higher self may have experienced. Does it make sense? Totally ask me questions, okay? At any time. So what's really cool, the reason you want to connect with your higher self, like let's say you're having issues with your child, right? And you might want to connect with your the child's higher self so that you can understand what's the best for your child. Like that would be a good reason to connect with the higher self aspect, right? Because then you can understand the soul's intentions and the actions, how it expresses itself by knowing the higher self, okay? But with your inner circle spirit guides, your inner circle spirit guides can basically give you practical advice on your next steps. And it's actually a better resource than maybe your higher self, because your higher self will just, think of it more like how you can get helped third dimensionally, right? Like how can you physically do stuff? because it's so close to you. That's like your soul's vibrational rate. Like it has to do with your soul's vibrational rate, like your consciousness. Okay. So the spirit guide team is really intimately connected to your soul. Like they are like totally connected to you, like 24/7. But again, like it's not you. You gotta understand, like your inner circle spirit guides is not you at all. Like your higher self is totally you, right? It's your soul. So in other words, it's ideal to connect with them, to receive the most neutral, and deeply loving and supportive perspective on behalf of your soul, right? Like they're going to see it from that realm. So whenever you have any kind of big decisions in your life, like they will know, like in a very neutral way, what to do next. Does it make sense? Totally, like ask me, okay? If that doesn't make any sense at all, like ask me. So, and your inner circle spirit guides are actually like helping you in a very, very present moment, like, and based on your current state of your being, they will help you like choose like in a better way, right? Because they're very neutral. They can see what your state of being is, what your current circumstances is, and what will be the best thing to do, right? So yeah, like they will really, really help you with the practical steps. So like, let's say like you want to know like some bigger aspect of yourself. Then you might want to get in touch with your six dimensional aspects, which are usually like your master guides and teachers, or like the angels. They are in another realm, like a higher realm. So obviously if you want to know like overall like what your whole purpose in terms of the galactic sense, then of course you are going to want to connect with the bigger guides, right? The master guides and the master teachers of and the Galactic Council. Like then that's when you talk to them. And then sometimes you need to get in touch with that sixth dimensional aspect of you, your beingness. Then you want to get in touch with those higher aspects of yourself. Does that make sense? So you really honestly only need to know the practicality of how to live in this physical reality. And that is why you want to know your inner spirit guides and inner circle spirit guides. And they really they really help you to know how to live like presently. Hi Banlin and hi Melissa. So do you see the difference? Your higher self, which is going to be your soul, your inner circle spirit guides are going to be actually other spirits who are helping you for your soul's evolution. And then your master guides or your angels and like all of them, your outer circle spirit guides, like they will help you in the bigger sense of like how you fit in like a pawn, like in a universe, right? Like what is your unique purpose and your mission? Then you want to connect with them. But on the practical level, they cannot understand how to help you because they're just energy. They're just like in this seventh and above dimensional aspects of you. So they won't really know like maybe the strategy or the alignment or things like that that's more practical of how to create something from scratch or how to create something that really moves people. Like that comes from your story, that comes from your alignment, it comes from your mindset, that comes from your business strategy, like all those kind of practical things. You would need help from your inner circle spirit guides. Is that cool? And the thing about your inner circle spirit guides is they're uniquely other spirits. Like how they're like people, like us, right? As individuals, they're like real people. You can think of them. So you always want to connect with them. And what happens was super cool later on when you get so connected to them that they kind of like integrate in you. So instead of like you have to like think like, oh, they're like out there, like they're actually just a part of your being. So my inner circle spirit guides, like I don't have to like really try really hard to like connect with them. Like I just say like, hey, like guide 1 or 2, like whatever guide I want to talk to, and I just say like, hey, tell me like what can I do about this project, or what about this? And I actually ask those specific guides that has to do with specific divine gifts that they have that they could help me with. Like let's say there's a guide that's really really good at strategy, or good at creating systems and stuff, then I'll go connect to that guide if that's what I'm lacking. Or if I need like help in my like relationships, then I will go into that guide who's very like all about love and connection and help me to process that part that I may be lacking in my relationship. Does that make sense? So you're like literally like talking to different people that actually can help you, and they're specifically for you. So that's why it's so important to know them, right? Does that make sense? I think everybody's quiet. Everybody's kind of like, this is cool. So that covers the difference, right? The differences between the different guides, right? And so like how they actually would be helping you, right? Like and help you to create more fame and fortune. The 3 reasons as to why you want to connect with them and how that will affect you in creating more fame and fortune if you know them is you will know like I said, the practical ways to implement what your higher self, remember the soul, may be perceiving you to focus on next. Because they're going to see what's the overall arching neutral choices that you need to be making in order to get to that reality or that extreme part of what you want to become, right? Like it's so important to know that practicality of things, because that's like knowing the step-by-steps, or it's like they will tell you intuitively like go talk to that person, or go set up a webinar, or go and I don't know, like market on Facebook about something or stuff like that. Like they're going to help you with the practicality of it, right? Yeah, Dee says this is cool, right? Isn't it cool? I think like people don't understand how this works, so that's why I love talking about all of these different things with this Fame and Fortune show, because I really want you to understand like why you need some clearings and why you need to know like your spirit guides and stuff like that, right? Hi, Tara. So, okay, so going back to what I was saying. So remember, that's one of the biggest reasons you want to connect with them, because they will tell you the practical ways to implement whatever your higher self may be perceiving, and that the inner circle spirit guides will be able to come from a very neutral place, right? Second thing is, the second reason is when you're like third dimensional physical body or wherever you're stuck, and they will help you to catapult you to make money very quickly. That's if you ask, right? Like if you really want to know this, then you automatically will start to know the practicality, like how could you make money, right? Like if you ask, so what would I do in order to make money today? Like you could probably ask them like right in the morning, and they'll probably say like, yeah, go jump on a live stream and talk about blank. Like that's you intuitively connecting to them, and then the message will come through. That's actually where your information is coming from. Normally it's actually coming from your spirit guides, your inner circle spirit guides, but maybe you didn't know that. And you gotta know the point of access, right? Like, are you talking to your higher self, or actually am I talking to my inner circle spirit guides? D says, oh, true. So the outer guides are my higher self. You mean the outer circle spirit guides? No, the outer circle spirit guides are actually like angels or your master guides or master teachers, you know, like they're like the very, very higher aspects of like the Galactic Council, and seeing how everybody is as a whole connected to each other and stuff like that. That's different. Outer guides, that's different. Inner circle spirit guides are your unique spirit guides. Like they are meant to help you achieve what you want in your life. And your higher self is going to be like your soul. Okay? Your soul is overseeing what you physically would want to be doing. Hi, Tara. Hi, Matisse. Hi, Natasha. So you see what I mean? There's different points of access that you want to really get connected to, because they have very specific information to help you to get to whatever level you want. There's different reasons of why you want to get connected to your angels, like why you want to get connected to those outer circle spirit guides, right? The ones that actually help other people. Your inner circle spirit guides are the ones that help you specifically. That's all they do all day long. They watch you, they connect with you, they kind of point you in the right direction. What are you doing? How you should do this and that. Like they're kind of like poking you intuitively. You might feel them. They actually impulse you in certain ways. Dee says, okay, wow, yeah. You see how that works? It's a very, like people think like, oh, it was like my wonderful angel. Like angels normally come probably in dire situations or something like that where you're like, they really, really need to help you. But normally it's like your inner circle spirit guides that are doing most of the work, right? Hi, great content, Natasha says. Yeah, so if you just jumped on, you're going to want to listen to this whole thing again, because I just spilled amazing content about your inner circle spirit guides, and what's the difference with your higher self and the angels, and like how to really like start connecting with them, and why you want to connect with them, and what they actually do for you, because there's different ways and reasons why you want to connect with them. Okay. Okay, so back to, that was the second thing. So the third reason you want to connect with them is because you will be able to have more access to like your third and your seventh dimensional aspects, which, remember when in many of my streams I've been talking about your third dimensional aspect is your physical body, your physical reality, physical life, right? Your seventh dimensional aspect is like how you get connected in to all life and all beings, right? Like how you interact and inter-exchange with these different people. And that is where a lot of your fame and fortune actually happens, in your seventh dimension aspect. We have 10 dimension aspects of our soul. We have 6 parallel realities happening all at once. So when we are creating more money and getting more famous, our third and our seventh dimension aspects really, really need to line up together with our fifth dimension aspect, which is our soul's design, right, in the Akashic records. But he says, always great content, thank you. Oh, yes, I always try to share as much as I know from my experiences, and when I actually, all this information I've channeled, I've experienced myself, so this is where it's coming from. Nicola says, hi, hey, awesome. Okay, so what was I saying? So yeah, the third reason, right, is you'll have access more to your third and your seventh dimension aspect, which is really like the most important thing that you need to connect to in order to make more fame and fortune. And they will guide you in your fifth dimensional aspect into your dream reality with ease, right? So your inner circle spirit guides will be able to connect you with your fifth dimension aspect, which is your soul, right? Like your higher self. And it will help you to get into that dream reality with ease. Mm-hmm. So you will feel like the third and the seventh kind of like line up, and your fifth dimensional nature, which is, you know, where all creation all really happens in our Akashic records, it becomes your real reality. Natasha says, I love your background and the colors look wonderful on your skin. Oh, thank you. I love pinky stuff because I'm all about that divine love. So that's why you see all of these cool colors. This is just totally my soul. Okay, so recap. The 3 reasons why you want to know your spirit guides is, one is your inner circle spirit guides will tell you the practical ways to implement what your higher self, which is your soul, may be perceiving, and what to focus on next. They're literally like think of them like your coaches. Your business coach, your mindset coach, your psychic, or whatever. Like they can see the overarching like thing that like you should be doing. That is what your inner circle spirit guides are doing for you, because they've been with you since birth. And they know exactly all the life experiences you've had. They know like that their whole mission is to help you to excel in what you want and be your best. Okay? So think of them like they're free business coaches, right? Like who wouldn't want that, right? To get more fame and fortune. Like ask them for help, right? You don't have to go pay another business coach. Go ask your inner circle spirit guides for help. And like I said, they all have particular divine gifts, so you can actually access them and ask them specific information that you may be needing. Like I said, like if you need to know more about money, then you want to go talk to that spirit guide who's like an expert in like money stuff, right? And building and like being like a CEO, like building a team or stuff like that. Like each guide have their specific divine gift that you want to connect with them, right? The second reason is you will know when you are third dimensionally stuck, like physically stuck. And they can actually help catapult you to make money very quickly by overseeing like where you're stuck, right? Like what kind of choices you need to make in order to get unstuck. So that's what's super cool, is they will catapult you forward and they'll help you make money. But of course, you got to ask them for that particular information. How would you do that? Okay. And then third is you will have more access to your third and your seventh dimension aspects, and they will guide you into your fifth dimension aspect of where the dream reality that you want, and will help you to do it with ease. So, because they're going to see in a very neutral point of view, like which way to go. And probably the fastest way, because even though your higher self may be on the mountain, like they're like hovering over you like a helicopter and following you along the way, right? Like they're like telling you like go left, go right, like try this part and that part. Like that's what's so cool about them, is they know like your whole life experience, and they know like what you are capable of or not capable of, and they're going to guide you in a very, very precise way. All right, so how's that? Like that was cool. Like did you just learn a bunch of stuff about your inner circle spirit guides? And again, like they're literally meant to help you. You don't really want to connect with like these other angels and stuff like that, because they give you messages, right? But sometimes the message is super simple, and then you're like, what do I do with that? You know? And when you cannot oversee something like the bigger picture of how you fit into the big puzzle of how the universal works, then you go talk to them. Everybody getting that? Hi, Tamara. So now you can ask me questions. I just told a whole big spiel about your inner circle spirit guides. And in the end, the best reason to connect with them is because they're going to be like your business coach, right? Like they're going to be a mindset coach. You're going to be like, oh my God, you're lacking this. Why don't you go talk to this person or that person? Natasha says, I came in late, but I can relate. Oh yeah, so totally like listen again. If you guys are just jumping on, like I just did a whole spiel, so you definitely want to listen again. So what do you think? What do you think about that? How do you feel? You know, are you connected to your inner circle spirit guides? Are you connected to your higher self? Who are you connecting with most? Are you connecting with angels? Are you connecting with those outer circle spirit guides? Like who's coming to you to give you your information that you would need help with? Because I really want you to be sure, like, where is that information coming from? So Natasha says, how can you get rid of procrastination? Oh gosh. Normally, I'll tell you the truth about procrastination. It has to do with you not being motivated and doing what you want to do. So if you're procrastinating about something, normally it's because you don't actually really want to do that way. So sometimes it's just you got to reframe it, right? Like do it in a different way. Maybe that's the reason why you're procrastinating. Or, and a lot of it also too, probably is because your third, fourth, and fifth dimensional aspects, you physically feel heavy and energetically feel heavy. Your mind, body, and spirit, there's just too much noise going on, and you actually need a clearing. And that's what I do, is I clear that noise. And I'm clearing like soul level blocks, which are there's 4 levels of clearings that I can do, which is your third dimensional aspect, your fourth, your fifth, which is your mind and thought patterns, the third dimensional stuff, which is like super karmic from your family line, or it's like your fifth dimensional aspect, which is like stuff from your particular past lives that like is severely blocking you in your relationship and in your business, like anything in your life, like totally that's what's happening. And when I clear that, also the fourth thing, which is your business stuff, which is like how other people are misaligning you to, then like you will not procrastinate. Like totally. I don't procrastinate very much at all anymore. And usually if I procrastinate, it's because I don't have a frame of reference as to like, I actually want to do that. So I would ask Natasha, like, that one thing that you're procrastinating about, like, you got to really like see first, like have consciousness, like list out all the things you're procrastinating about. And when you look at the whole list, you're going to probably see like, I don't even want to do that. That's why I'm probably not even going to do it. So it's either 2 things. It's either like you don't really want to do it, or the second thing, which is you need a clearing and you need to get rid of all that crap that's blocking you in the background that doesn't allow you to do anything. Okay. If it's soul level blocks, those are so deep that you really do need to clear it in your Akashic records. Because once it's done in your Akashic records, the Akashic record guides delete it for you. It's permanently gone. So you literally like don't hear it anymore. Like you don't have all of that crap in your head. You don't feel like, I don't want to do this. You like actually start to focus and go forward and just do it. That's why I'm always like, just do it. Because I no longer have all those thoughts about it. Like, why should I procrastinate about that? Like, just like do it. And I do it because it's something that I'm driven and I'm going forward for that. Okay, I know I like told a big spiel about procrastination, but that's really what I think is happening. So Matisse says, I never have connected with my inner circle guides. We'll do next time. Yeah, that you want to... So your inner circle spirit guides, you really got to know who they are. Like literally think of them as people and your best friends. Like if you don't get to know your best friend, like why would your best friend know exactly how to help you if you don't ask them and you don't even talk to them, right? So eventually when you actually, this is a whole nother stream, I think, a live stream where I'll talk about how to connect with your inner circle spirit guides. But you actually need to know, and I do that in my coaching, is I tell you exactly who your spirit guides are, what are their soul profile, what are their divine gifts, how they impulse you, what soul vibrational level are they, what planet they came from, their unique way of how they communicate with you and stuff like that. And sometimes you just got to get somebody to channel them for you so that you understand like how to start talking with them. And having that separate point of view in a very objective way, it's kind of hard to do that if you haven't experienced that before. Okay, so Natasha says, I'm spiritual but not sure who I'm connected to. Yeah, so that's practice. Like the reason I know so much of this stuff because I practice like different levels of doing this either on myself or on other people, my clients. And when you understand those different points of access that I'm talking about, like it's just natural. It's really natural. Like my spirit guides, I talk to them, like they're just integrated in me. So I don't even like think like, oh, I have no idea how to talk to them. I just like talk. It's like turning on the radio, like you're either like plugged in, right? You got the right station, or it's just static noise, right? You really want to put it on the right station. You don't want to be listening on the wrong station. Tara says, great seeing you live. Oh yeah, long time no see. I know Tara lives here in Hawaii. but on a different island. So Natasha says, are you speaking about theta? Do you mean like theta waves? Like connecting with your theta waves? I'm not sure what you mean by theta. If you just jumped on, totally like ask me questions about the subject or like whatever you want to share. Like totally. I'm not sure what you mean by theta. I mean like, I know like there's beta, theta, and alpha waves, you know, like that's our brain states in our consciousness. Also, you think you're talking about that, like being in theta wave? How would that relate to that? So like when you're in alpha wave state, okay, so like right now we're in beta wave state. We are conscious, we are interacting, we're connecting, so our minds and our energies are interacting with each other, right? Like it's very like rapid rate. Our brain waves is moving very, very rapidly. Theta and alpha, right, is like when our brain waves slow down. And when we actually are in a meditative state and like really connected with that alpha level state, that's actually where miracles also happen too. It's like when you calm your mind and you're in that meditative state, when you're like very, very, very peaceful, that is the theta wave like level. So you could say, yeah, like when you connect with your higher self or your inner circle spirit guides, they're operating at that level. And obviously delta waves would be like your sleep, your unconscious. So, but theta and alpha, that is again like where you can really, really connect with them because you're conscious, but you're unconscious. Like theta wave is like that, where you're conscious, but you're unconscious. But what's so cool is like when you get to talk with your inner circle spirit guides, you're kind of operating a lot in that theta and the alpha wave. And actually when you're in the alpha wave, that's when you create a new reality or something of yours. And the more you get into that level, you for sure going to attract a lot more into your life, like, right? And your dream reality and all that kind of stuff. I really do think like in that alpha and theta wave state, you are definitely, that's where you create miracles for sure. Anybody else have any questions? Hi, Ka. I see you're on. Natasha says, I've had a lot of theta healing done, which works on various planes, so I get the process. Oh, okay. Yeah. So like theta healing is kind of like, it's like that too. Like, right. Like there's different levels of your consciousness that they're probably accessing. But I'm not very clear as to like which dimension aspects they're doing. Because we're all operating all 10 dimensional aspects of ourselves in all 6 parallel realities all at once. But depending on our conscious level, right? If we're more 5th dimensional nature or 6th dimensional nature, 7th dimensional nature, that is the consciousness that we sit in all the time. Like we operate at that plane all the time. So anybody has any other questions? Otherwise, like if you don't have anything, totally, you know, we can totally talk about this and PM message me if you want. Yeah, hi cousin. This is my cousin Ka. So yeah, totally like ask me, you know. I think like when you understand how to talk with your inner circle spirit guides, they will really like know how to help you, you know, like connect with your best friends. No, those are your best friends. You don't want to separate them or at all like integrate them into your life because they've been here with you from your birth. Like literally probably your first spirit guides came in when you're 2, the second one probably came when you're like 6 or 8, third one came in like when you're like 9 to 10. So like each time the spirit guides are helping you during those time frames of your life, and they come for a particular reason. How do you develop a relationship with your inner circle spirit guide? So Natasha says, yeah, so I think that's kind of like a whole nother topic to talk about on another live stream. But I think the first step is you have to be aware of who they are, right? Like, And the best way to know who they are is in your Akashic records. That's what I do. Is I literally go in your Akashic records and I go and find out what their soul profile is and how they connect with you and all that kind of stuff. Then I can give you a frame of reference of how to talk to them. Because you can totally like just say like, oh, inner circle spirit guides, talk to me, you know? But like when you say, hey, like spirit guide number 2 or 3, if you have a name for them or whatever, come and talk to me about blah, blah, blah. And I need help because I know like you're good at like this divine gift. That's your expertise. So like share with me, like how would I deal with that? You know, that's how you can start like to connect with them. But I think the first thing you need is consciousness, right? Like who they are. I tend to get more heightened clarity through dancing, exercising, singing, and meditation. Oh yeah, so like doing third dimensional things like dancing and meditation, singing, those are getting more in touch with your, you know, your higher self. And that's a really good time to actually connect with them. And just think of like that moving meditation is a good way to get really, really deeply connected with them. So definitely like clarity does happen when you do something, when you do something with your body. So if that helps you to get into that more alpha and the theta wave state where like you're just in that meditative peaceful state and you have more access to them, like totally that's when you can maybe go and talk with those spirit guides for sure. Natasha says, okay, I get it. Okay, cool. Any last things anybody want to share? Any awakenings, any takeaways from what you just learned from me so far? And if you just jump on in, totally totally like listen to the beginning of this part, because if for my Fame and Fortune show, I tell you like all this detail first. And then afterwards we do this Q&A, which is what we're doing now. And I plan on trying to do it every day. So this is like my daily show and it's a good chance for you to really learn all of these different things. If you want to learn more about your spirit guides and like you need more help with that and maybe even get a reading on them, like totally message me and let's see if there's something that I could help you with. But for sure, I highly am emphasizing that you connect with them ASAP because they're going to be like your business, mindset, and alignment coaches, you know? Go talk to them. They're going to tell you what the next level that you want to focus on next. That's really their whole purpose, is to help you get to your next level. Natasha says, are you on Periscope? Yes, I also have Periscope. You can also jump on Periscope with me. It's just my name, Leimomi Keliikuli. You can jump on there too. I'm mostly on here for now, just for my daily show. Just because I like it here. And I can like, everybody can jump on really quick and I'm not getting any trolls. Tara says, real quick, is the 5th dimensional level kind of like the theta wave that was mentioned? The 5th dimensional level is your Akashic records. It's literally the information highway. Like think of it like the internet. So like we can access all that information about our soul, about like anything. And it's like that library of everything that exists. That's where all of that is. Or how do the two connect? Oh, okay. So theta, like think of like theta wavelengths is like your, like in your brain, like what you're thinking about, like in your brain. And you can access, you actually want to access your Akashic records from your heart, because everything that exists actually exists in our heart. Like our whole reality, everything we're experiencing is in our heart. So the micro and the macro, you're experiencing it in your heart. That's when you're in your heart. When you're outside of your heart, like you are actually experiencing probably those theta and alpha wave states for sure, you know. Natasha says Instagram. Oh, Instagram is also my name too, Leimomi Keliikuli. You can totally like jump on that too, and I like to put pictures and stuff like that. Oh, and also if you haven't been on my Facebook group, go join my Facebook group. I also share all kinds of cool stuff too in there. It's monetize your divine gifts. Monetize your divine gifts. Just type that out, and you will find Monetize Your Divine Gifts movement. And that's where a lot of all my stuff I share for my free group. And then, okay. So if you guys don't have any other questions, totally we can connect again tomorrow. I'm gonna talk about all these kind of cool subjects. The past couple of days I was talking about clearing a lot of this vows and soul contracts, relationship contracts, what are soulmates and stuff like that. I'm totally talking about that every day. I'm also talking about maybe this kind of spiritual stuff, or I will be talking about mindset stuff, or whatever you might need help with, but it's all related to how does that affect you from creating more fame and fortune. So that's what my show is about, is how is that connected to how I can be more visible and how can I make more money doing what I love, doing my purpose and all of that. Would Akashic record be karma? Akashic records is not karma. It's literally the information highway of everything that exists. That's something totally different. Karmic stuff is it's in different dimension aspects. Like I said, this is super complicated. I can't explain all of that unless you listen to my show every day. You're gonna get an amazing understanding of how all this spiritual stuff works, because I can talk about the parallel realities and how 10-dimensional levels of our soul are. Knowing what each of them are and how to access them and what that all means, it's hard to understand if you don't have frame of reference. So I'm sharing that with you guys. Okay. All right. Well, it was fun connecting with you guys. I usually kind of jump on around this time, or a little bit an hour before, but today it was very late. So I'm in Hawaii, so your time would be probably way ahead of me. So just think about around this time is when I jump on. Oh, yeah, and so if you really want to hear all of this stuff, subscribe. There's a button that says subscribe at the top of the screen. Go subscribe, and if you love this content, totally just share at the bottom. There's a share button there. Natasha says, awesome show. Oh, thank you. I really made this up because everybody was asking me how do you know all this information? And I was like, oh, I should just make a show about it. So hi, Susan. Oh, Susan, we're just ending, so definitely go listen to the replay. You can just, after I do this, then it's gonna pop up on my page, on my personal page. You're gonna see it and you can listen again. All right, well, you have an amazing evening or day wherever you're at. I came on just last minute ago. I can tell I missed a good one. I can't wait to hear all of this. Yeah, listen again, okay? Everybody that missed it, go listen to the replay. All right, all my love to you. Aloha.